I come from 3 different tribes. My father was Omaha Pawnee. My mother was Winnebago Sac and Fox. When I was 4.5 years old, I was being raised by my grandmother. I was a product of a broken home because of drinking. At the time, the BIA was collecting children from the families to send them off to boarding school. And that was during the era where they was trying to take their language and their Indian ways away from them to assimilate them into the white world. They were punished for speaking their language. So to me, that was something that I was brought up that way. They tried to educate us in a way to forget who we were. I thank God that I did have an education. Sorry to say it wasn't the way I wanted it, but at least I got educated.
Often our Native students who attend public schools are not provided the resources mandated under Title VII of the Leave No Child Behind Act. Unemployment in the winter can run as high as 89%. The average family income is less than $6,000 per year. And a recent survey revealed that 54 out of 84 families in the school district are homeless, which means families double or triple up in homes with as many as 20 people living in a small 2 or 3 bedroom home.
There is a federal law that governs what is supposed to happen to Native kids who are taken in by the public foster care system. And it is meant to protect them. It's the Indian Child Welfare Act that was passed in 1978 because so many Native kids were removed from their families and from their tribes, and they were adopted out into non-Native families to basically de-Indianize them, to make them part of the broader society so they could be more productive. And it's part of the history that I think is very sad. No state in this nation is in compliance with that act. And part of the reason is that they have a lot of difficulty recruiting and retaining Native foster and adoptive parents.
One of the things that I've always been interested in is what will help our Indian children be successful. I am hopeful about the information I will learn here and take back to the Bureau of Indian Education. I can see another partnership forming that may help me answer the research question inside me. What factors contribute to the success of our Indian children?
When we see the future of Indian country, it does lie in the youth. And so what we bring to education is one thing that is needed. We have these people developing these schools. We have very dedicated teachers, but what about the knower? What about the student? And so transcendental meditation is to develop the full potential of the student, the full potential of the knower, to add that missing ingredient. And so we've had 30 some odd years of scientific research, over 600 published studies, and based on that, the Council of Elders felt, yes, if we brought this to the Winnebago Public School, that we should expect the same results.
That's how Indian people function on common sense. Let's do something that works. When I was first introduced or came here and seen meditation, I seen what it would do for our kids. And when our elders came, I knew they would just grasp it, and it's nothing new to them because we have been doing it.
There's been a number of studies showing that transcendental meditation directly improves the functioning of the brain. And this functioning of the brain is also related to less reactivity to stress.
They average a 42% graduation rate. And since we have instituted transcendental meditation into the program, we now see that Winnebago has had an 81% graduation rate.
No amount of money can replace what has been taken, lost, or stolen. No amount of money can replace our lost languages, destruction, or desecration of our sacred sites. But we can move forward to ensure a quality of life that is free from poverty, disease, and uncertainty for our children. elders, and our tribal communities. Education is the answer. Education is the key, and education must be our priority.
I just am very glad to see, and I compliment the elders on their vision, that education is a very important piece of this strategy toward rebuilding our sustainable communities.
The way it usually is done is we would tell you about all the problems going on our reservations, in our schools, in our urban Indian communities, without a solution. So I just want to ask the audience a question. Were we able to provide a solution for education?